Hi folks, today we're working on the 06 F250 with the 6.0 Powerstroke. This is my coolant bottle, the degas bottle, whatever you want to call it. It is a little discolored, a little old. You can see where it's starting to bulge here at the seam. Lately I've been noticing under my left front wheel I've got a puddle forming when the truck sits for a couple days. And if you look down here at the Y hose, you'll see where at the connections right in here you have some of the traces of coolant leaking, but where it was dripping was actually where it connects to the bottle, which is right up there by that clamp you can see there. So I think the solution here is going to be new parts. So here is a new degas bottle. Notice how much less yellow this plastic is. Well, the truck's coming up on 14 years old if it isn't already. It's a 2006 model. This is 2019 going on 2020. What's cool is this new one has a sticker that actually lowers the minimum down to about where I like to run it, because it spits it out if you go any higher than that. So I didn't have the sticker, and whenever I would go for an oil change or whatever at Ford, they would like to top it off to the minimum mark, and then it would spit out the coolant until it got down to about where this is marked here on the sticker. This is where it was leaking, is this joint right in here. I don't know, might be able to just tighten up the clamp or put a regular screw type clamp on it, tighten it down. But you know, experience from working on old houses and plumbing and older vehicles tells me you don't want to start pulling on anything old unless you're ready to replace it. So anyway, we have a new bottle. I also got a new Y hose, and these are all genuine Motorcraft parts. I got them on Amazon. Hopefully this is right. New Motorcraft hose, new Motorcraft bottle. I thought about getting a cheaper alternative, but as it would have worked out, I read the reviews and they weren't very good. I put the updated cap on the truck when I did the dummy plugs and the standpipes and the FTC fitting replacement with a rigid coupling. I don't know if this is going to be of equal quality to that or not, but this is what came up when I looked for a cap for my vehicle. It is a Motorcraft part, but I don't know if it's the updated one. So anyway, we'll look at it. We'll see if they seem like it's as solid. Whichever one's better, I'll put on the truck. And that's that. So price-wise, this was about 10 bucks. This hose was around 70, and the bottle was around $100, 90 something for the genuine Ford one. You can get them other brands like a Dorman or other ones. But like I say, I read the reviews and they had issues with the threads on the cap, for the cap not being quite right, different things, and who needs that kind of drama? And save $40 and then have it leak and end up blowing up your, destroying your Powerstroke. That's not a very good return on investment of the $40 if you ask me. So I'd rather invest that $40 in a quality part. So I thought about getting one of those nice aluminum ones they make. Sinister Diesel has them. Other places have them. I think Mishimoto has one. It's aluminum, just polished aluminum basically. But I didn't want to spend that kind of money right now. It's like $200 or $300 for that thing. And this was one, so we got another plastic one. If we can get another 14 years out of this plastic one, that'd probably just about do it, wouldn't it? So without further ado, let's put them on the truck. I'm not going to film every single step here, but I'm going to describe what I'm going to do, and then when we get to the next step I'll describe that and blah blah blah, rather than showing a bunch of wrenching and turning screws. I mean, I can think of a lot of other people you'd probably rather watch screw than me, right? So yeah, step one will be to remove the dipstick. Step two, we will remove the definitely got to remove the air filter, and probably going to have to remove the intake. So all this up to that first clamp there, maybe the second clamp. Then then we should be able to get to where that hose connects to the block under there. From that point, we should be able to remove the hose and replace the bottle. This isn't a big project, it's just a little something. But anyway, we'll get after it. Alright, at this point we've got the dipstick removed. We got the air filter out. The heat shield that goes around it. And the intake tube itself. Disconnected mass air. And over here is the filter minder. So here's an issue I got here. If you see here that this charge air cooler tube, the cold side, is going to be right in the path of that hose. I would much rather not take that out, but I think it's going to be a pain to try to do this without doing so. So I think I'm going to remove the CAC tube here. So on the clamp for the CAC tube, it's always good to oil the threads on these. Oil them up real good, and that way maybe they won't strip. Alright, so cold side pipes out of the way. There's our hose. Got the clamp up here out of the way. I finally got it broke loose. I have a drain pan underneath there. Probably the smart move would be to drain a little bit out of the radiator. But I only have 1 gallon of coolant that I bought, so I'm hoping to not lose any more than absolutely necessary. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this out. Whatever drains, drains. Whatever didn't need to drain, didn't need to drain. And that's that. So let's see what happens. No, I had a feeling that was going to happen. So there it goes. So next step, you got to get the clamp off this hose right here. Get this clamp off, and then pull these 2 bolts, and we should be able to pull all of this right out. So get these 2 8mm bolts out. Well, the heads are 8mm. And then we'll get that one there off of there, and should be ready to come off. Alright, so I got the new parts pre-assembled. My dirty hands on my pretty new parts. Shame. Anyway, I got the new parts pre-assembled. I don't want to put the clamp on yet in case I have to turn the hose or whatever. But I got the hose clamp on here. I got the hose clamp in place on the heater hose over there. Yeah, we're just about ready to put this thing back together. Alright, so here's a little side-by-side comparison of the new degas bottle and the old degas bottle. And look underneath here. Let me pull it off here. You can see where it was starting to get a few, I don't know if those are scratches or cracks, the beginnings of cracks, but I have heard that these things do crack when they get old. You know, it's old. So I think it was good that we replaced it. And so, yeah, it certainly looks better having a new one up there. So all that's left now, yeah, all the clamps are on and everything. So what's left now is to reassemble the truck. Well, it's all back together. Yeah, start it and check it for leaks. We're gonna build some pressure, check for leaks, all that fun stuff. But we got it back together. Put 1 gallon of antifreeze in it because I've been adding water, so I didn't even bother to dilute it. Just put the full gallon, and then it took a little bit more distilled water to get it up to that mark there. Filled it up and it drained down, and then I filled it up and it drained down. But I think it might be good. Anyway, we'll see. Put some pressure to it. Double check the caps right. That's good. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get it started. Alright, we're up to operating temperature now, so here's where it's right now.